This week in GTA Online, we're going to be diving right into the action here with two free vehicles that offer some really fun and unique driving experiences. First, we have a really cool truck. It's an off-roader, but it's also kind of like an overlander where you're going to excel in all sorts of off-road scenarios, whether it's rock crawling, hill climbing, things like that. And then we also have a great sports classics vehicle to talk about. And so we're going to explore their features, customize them to our liking. We're also going to put them through rigorous tests on the track to see if they deserve a spot in your GTA Online car collection or not. And so let's get started with this week's free vehicles guide and see what these vehicles have to offer. So starting off with our first of the two, we do have the Karin Everon, which is this week's Diamond Casino Podium vehicle, or you can just get it from Southern San Andreas Super Autos for $1.475 million or as low as $1.106 million with the trade price. This is an awesome pickup truck. It released with the Diamond Casino Heist update. It's got a great engine here. It's got good straight line speed, I'd say, especially for its size and its weight. It's got impressive torque. You can ascend all sorts of steep inclines with absolute ease. Needless to say, it's fantastic at off-roading. It's got super high profile tires that offer great ground clearance, and all of this is going to make it very effective at rock crawling like I was talking about at the beginning of the video. However, the vehicle's design is going to introduce a very high center of gravity. That's going to lead to some potential instability on extremely steep terrain, and that's where the risk of tipping over becomes very noticeable and apparent, and that's what you got to watch out for. Additionally here, the large tires, while of course they're going to be super beneficial for all types of your off-road navigation that you're going to be going on, they are susceptible to gunfire, so you need to make bulletproof tires an upgrade that you absolutely need to apply onto this truck. Overall, it's a super good contender in all sorts of off-road scenarios. The handling is going to require a little bit of careful management to avoid rolling over or spinning out, things like that, but I love it. Let's head to the track, see how it performs. Well, here is my Karin Everon, ladies and gentlemen. I went with like a graphite black with black concave Rally Master wheels, off-road wheels, and we went with like the bed cage with the crates and the rack and the lights, the fog lights, or the, I guess those are floodlights actually. You got some extra floodlights on the front of the vehicle on the bumper. I love the bumper with the winch and the lights and everything. And then of course we have a roof rack on here because unfortunately you could put like the I don't know what they're called, like just the roof, like the roof sliders on like both sides of the vehicle, like right above the door line, right, heading from front to back, to put like skis on and stuff like that, extra gear. I went with the roof rack just because the lights and the actual bed cage stick up over the roof of the truck, and I don't like the way that looks without the roof rack, so I had to add that on. But nonetheless, we have like an off-road ready, this is more than just an overlanding truck. This thing is ready to go rock crawling. I mean, look at the suspension. The differential on this truck is huge, by the way. Look at that thing. It's just the front and rear diff. They're actually just insane. The ground clearance is very good. Look at the crazy suspension setup we got going on here. I love this thing. Heavy duty axles and all that. This truck is awesome. Now, what we're going to do, because I'm not going to put it up against the Vapid Retinue Mark II. We're just going to test, one, just see the speed, because honestly, this thing doesn't go that fast. It's a big truck. It's got a lot of body roll with the suspension, and it looks cool, right? So I just want to take it off-road over here. We're just going to drive over. You can kind of get a feel for its speed here, and its turning. I'm like bombing this turn, right? It honestly performs pretty well on the road, but I'm most curious to see how this thing performs off-road. We just jumped the car. If you guys want a monster truck like the Marshall or the Liberator in this game, but you don't want to buy the Marshall or the Liberator, get the Karin Everon, ladies and gentlemen. This thing is awesome. So let's go down here on the trail. I'm so excited to take this thing off-road. I'm going to do, at first, just like a reasonable speed, make it realistic. Let's just admire the beautiful axle articulation here and the suspension going up and down. It's just like you can, I love the way this vehicle looks when off-roading. It's, I'm not the biggest fan of the styling from the front. I feel like the headlights are stretched too far to the side. But this thing looks good just in general. Like the stance, the profile. If this thing had like a 2020 like Tundra or even Tacoma front end, because from the side it looks like the Tacoma and it looks like the Tundra. But if you looked at the front, I don't know, it's like a catfish is smiling at you is what it reminds me of, or something like that. I'm not trying to knock this truck because I love it. This is definitely one of my favorite trucks in the game, and it looks fantastic. What I want to do is take this down into the river real quick just so we can admire what this thing is like actually going off-road through rugged terrain and all that. I don't think there's many rocks here we can go rock crawling with. but just looking at the vibe, cutting through this little stream here. If you actually had this truck IRL, it would be able to do it all for you. You wouldn't encounter a single problem. And look at the offset wheels too. I didn't even notice just how extreme it was. Like, this thing has crazy extended wheel arches, right? That already would look super, super good. But the wheels are sticking out even further. The tires, they're sticking out even further. I don't know the offset that we're rocking on these wheels. I wish that was something we could change. Maybe that'll be something we can do in GTA 6. I would love for them, Rockstar, to kind of go into detail with all that. But this thing just eats it up. If you want to actually drive at a normal speed that you would actually be driving a truck in this game, this truck can do it all for you. Like, it's kind of bottoming out because we're taking this hill and all this rugged terrain at 45 miles an hour. But hill climbing, it's good, you know. Whoa, look at that. I guess it's a little bit top heavy, obviously, because it's so jacked up. I haven't touched the suspension either. You can lower this thing almost all the way and turn it into like a normal car, but you wouldn't want to do that. Yeah, you get a little bit better performance on the road, but you just wouldn't want to do it. Now let's see if we can get up this hill without really accelerating all that much from further away. Can we make it up? Oh my god. The Karin Everon, ladies and gentlemen. Look, imagine if a truck could do that IRL. That would be absolutely insane. That went up an 80-degree incline with no acceleration beforehand, like no problem. From a stop to right up an 80-degree incline, and now we're at the top of a mountain. And yeah, this is the Karin Everon, man. This thing is sick. Between this and the Kara 4x4, do you need any other trucks in this game? I don't think so. I think these are my two favorites for sure. I mean, the Camacho is going to be one of the best off-road vehicles, but the Karin Everon, in my opinion, I think it's the top 5. And moving on here, the Vapid Retinue Mark II is this week's LS Car Meet prize ride. Now, this car is normally priced at $1.62 million, or with a trade price of $1.215 million on Southern San Andreas Super Autos, but you can unlock this car for $0 because it's the prize ride, and all you need to do to complete the challenge is place top 3 in LS Car Meet Series races for 4 consecutive days in a row. So hopefully you've been chipping away on that progress. This is another vehicle that released alongside the Diamond Casino Heist update, and the Retinue Mark II is a very good competitor in the sports classics category. Performance-wise, it offers a nice balanced experience with slightly above average top speed, as well as just, I would say, decent acceleration for its class. The on-road grip is going to be really solid. The initial wheel spin can occur here if you don't really launch carefully, but it hooks up fast enough. It's not like a huge problem. Cornering is one of this vehicle's strong suits up to a certain point, and that's going to be thanks to its stable handling. Oversteer is sort of minimized compared to other cars, but you will encounter it, and it is rear-wheel drive, which is funny enough that it doesn't oversteer more than it was when I was driving it. The braking system's also pretty nice, and that's what makes this car stable. And this vehicle is overall, I would say, just very controllable, even though it will have bouts of spinning out if you try and push it past the point where it actually can't have any more grip and good handling on the road. It's a nice, reliable choice for any car enthusiast in this game who just appreciates classic sports car dynamics, with, I would say, maybe more modern handling capabilities if I can compare it to anything. So with that being said, once again, let's head to the track and see how this thing performs in real time. All right, well, I'm here at my free roam test track, and we do a nice big loop. Here we go north, east, south, east again, south, and follow this main road back through the intersection, and I time my finish line right here at the middle of the intersection. Now, a quick car is going to be, 2 minutes 30 seconds. Pretty fast is going to be 2:45, and then getting on the slower end of cars is going to be 3+ minutes. So I'm going to set my stopwatch. We're going to go in 3, 2, 1, and that is when I will hit the gas. Hooks up pretty quick. Driving over here from Los Santos Customs, you could tell this car is quite speedy. It's fun to drive. It's very twitchy, though. It's a twitchy little thing, and I will say that without any suspension upgrades, you're gonna find this car kind of like slides and like whiplashes back and forth with some just weird pendulum oversteer, just like swinging back and forth all the time. And I don't think this, I don't have this car lowered all the way. I have it with like 1 or 2 suspension upgrades, like just to lower it 1 or 2 levels, 1 or 2 notches. Because if you lower it all the way, you get the crazy camber, and I don't like looking at that on a vehicle, even though it would probably help it perform better. I'm not sure the time we're going to get so far. I mean, right now we're just coming up on the 50-second mark. So I'd say maybe we're on pace for kind of what I was expecting. This is probably going to be closer to a 3-minute car, I would imagine. I don't think we're going to get any time below 3. A lot of sports cars in this game, I get 245 to like 250. And like the super fast supercars with a perfect lap time will be close to 230. And I think some open wheels we can get sub 230 just because of how good they handle. Like that, we're going to crash right into them. And for those of you guys who are new to this series as well, I just do these off-the-cuff gameplays, like first impressions, no cuts, no edits, at least on this segment, right? Like the commentary section scripted and all that. But this is live gameplay, me driving the cars. I just get to talk about them live. So let's do that. This is one of the toughest parts of the track right here, no matter what vehicle I'm driving. This is going to be the part that will separate, you know, the men from the boys when it comes to the cars, because there's just some cars that can't handle that section of the track. This one was okay. Of course, I'm not the best driver with this thing. Honestly, more so than the performance of this vehicle itself, I'm just not used to the performance and handling characteristics of this car. The speed isn't anything I have complaints on, you know, especially for this type of like coupe, like sports coupe, I guess I could say, like older classic sports coupe. There's nothing wrong with that. I can't complain about the acceleration or the speed or anything like that. But the momentum you carry through the corners is so important to the control of this car, because sometimes you could take a perfect turn, but if you go above and beyond what this vehicle is capable of, and it's not capable of a crazy amount of speed around the corners, you'll notice the rear wheels definitely kick out and the car just wants to oversteer. It almost feels like the front of the car is plowing and you have some understeer, but then it'll snap to oversteer and the rear end just like kicks out. And it's a little bit, I don't know. It's not bad, it's just strange. And that's kind of what you get out of this car. But it's speedy, like it's agile, it's nimble, it's quick. And we're gonna get a much better time than I thought. 2 minutes 51, almost 2 minutes 52 seconds on the clock for this thing. So much better time than I thought we were gonna get. I was not expecting that. The Vapid Retinue Mark II, ladies and gentlemen. This is a very interesting car. And you know, if you do want to pick it up this week, you can get it for $0. I would say it's worth trying to unlock too. It's honestly, may I say, a pretty good vehicle here in GTA 5 Online. Well, yeah, with all that said, we're going to be wrapping things up right here. I want to thank you guys so much for watching. Drop a like on today's video if you guys did go on to enjoy. Subscribe to the channel if you guys are new. Also, make sure to check me out over on Twitch, Twitter, and Instagram at HazardousHDTV. One, to get connected with me on all platforms outside of YouTube. If you guys want to ask me any questions, feel free to ask me any questions on those platforms, but also specifically twitch.tv/HazardousHDTV. I live stream GTA Online, Red Dead Online, Warzone, and Variety Gaming several times a week. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, typically. And that's kind of like my schedule. So again, thank you guys so much for watching. Have a fantastic day. I cannot wait for the expanded and enhanced, as well as the HSW content, as well as the Oscar Guzman Flies Again DLC on Tuesday, March the 4th. It's going to be a good time. You can catch it all here on the channel and on Twitch as well. With that being said, have a fantastic day. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. Adios, amigos.